Hi, I'm John Ross, technical trader and analyst at Banyan Publishing. Today I have a chart of cocoa futures that I'd like to show you. In cocoa, it's a rather obscure commodity that we don't hear a lot about because it doesn't really have a huge bearing on the global economy. It doesn't really give us a broad insight about the health of the global economy, but it's a commodity that's been traded on the futures exchange for a long time, and it's one that I think we have an opportunity to get into to make trading profits in the months ahead. So let's take a look at the chart. This chart goes back to the month of May of this year when the price of cocoa began a relatively steep decline. And the decline, as I've laid out here, has unfolded in a three-wave pattern. The first wave down, then a corrective wave up, and then the third wave down again, extending the price action that we saw in wave one. Now, wave three tends to be a complete extension of wave one. So the distance that it travels tends to be about the same amount of the distance traveled in wave one. It could be less, it could be more, but it's about the same. So what I think this means is that there's a bottom forming, at least beginning to form if it hasn't formed already here on the price of cocoa. One that I think will open the door to a 12 to 23% gain from current levels in the month or two ahead of us. Now, the price of cocoa could push a little bit lower here to $2,000 per ton, to that sort of range, to continue this extension. But it doesn't have to, which is why I wanted to bring this chart to your attention today. I do think this is a nice buying opportunity. I do think this is a neat little trade that's relatively uncorrelated to the rest of the market, and one that offers good reward potential here. Now, if you wanted to get in now, you could definitely consider putting some type of stop loss in place below the recent low, down here around $2,042 per ton. You definitely don't want to put it right on that low. You want to go below that a little bit to try to avoid the market makers, hunting down your order. But that sort of is a good place to risk to. And now I understand that a lot of you probably aren't excited about the idea of being in the futures market. In fact, you probably want nothing to do with it, and that's fine because we can play this trade without being in the futures market. There's an ETN, or what's called an exchange traded note, that tracks the price of cocoa, and the ticker symbol for that is NIB, and that pretty much allows you to track perfectly. It's not completely perfect, but you're going to get the returns from that ETN that you would get basically, investing here in the cocoa futures market. Of course, the futures market brings leverage and that sort of thing, but as far as a percent basis, we'll see that ETN move the same percent amount as you'll see the cocoa futures contracts move. So if you like this trade idea, that's an easy way for retail individual investors to get in on this idea and just add a little bit of firepower to their portfolio in addition to what you're already doing in other commodity ETFs and other stocks. So I hope you found this useful. Thank you for listening. We'll talk soon.